Hello Lakers fan, if you are one of those who are always up to date with the news about our Lakers, then you need to stay tuned to what is coming up on our Lakers news channel. I am preparing exclusive coverage on the possible signings of LAKERS, and what I can tell you is that rumors are catching fire on social media, and if you don't want to miss any information, stay tuned. We have exclusive news every day. If you are a true Lakers and don't want to be left out of the news, be sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Let's go to the video.
Redick says LeBron James is finally looking healthier and moving better. Despite turning 40, LeBron James continues to defy time. The Lakers superstar put together another remarkable season, even as injuries nagged at the team, especially on defense. LeBron had to sit out a few games due to a groin strain earlier in the season, but he returned just in time to help lead the team into the playoffs. However, during the final regular season game against the Houston Rockets, he appeared to tweak the same groin again, and had to leave the game early, raising some concern. Heading into Game 1 against the Minnesota Timberwolves, LeBron was listed on the Lakers injury report with a strained left hip flexor. Though he powered through and stayed on the court, it was clear during the first two games that he wasn't operating at full strength. That changed in Game 3. Even in a tough loss, LeBron put on a vintage performance, dropping 38 points, grabbing 10 rebounds, dishing 4 assists, and adding 2 steals and 2 blocks in 41 minutes. It was a statement. He's not done yet. After the game, head coach Redick shared some encouraging news about LeBron's recovery via Spectrum Sportsnet. He's moving better. He looks like he's turning a corner. This type of injury usually takes a week or two to heal, and if I'm not mistaken, it's been about 2 weeks since that Houston game. Clearly, he's improving. That's a huge positive for the Lakers, who are down 2-1 in the series but far from out of the fight. A fully healthy LeBron could be the difference maker if they hope to make a deep run. With Luka Doncic also under the weather in Game 3, LeBron had to take over, just like Luka did in the first 2 games. Now, all eyes are on Game 4 this Sunday. The hope is that both stars are close to 100%, because if the Lakers can steal one on the road and tie the series, everything changes. Anthony Edwards on LeBron's Game 3 performance. He was incredible. After Game 3, Timberwolves phenom Anthony Edwards didn't hold back his admiration for LeBron. He was incredible. Did everything he could to try and get them the win. He was pulling up from Yucatan, man. Just wild shots. He hit one in transition, and I was closing out like, he's not shooting that. And then, he launched it. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun to watch him and to go head-to-head with him. For real. LeBron's dominant Game 3 performance not only earned the respect of his peers, it sent shockwaves through the NBA community. Social media lit up with praise from current and former players, analysts, and fans who were once again in awe of how James continues to perform at such a high level 2 decades into his career. Former teammate Dwayne Wade tweeted, "That man LeBron is not human. What we're witnessing is greatness on full display." ESPN's Kendrick Perkins added, "I don't care what the scoreboard says. LeBron's performance was one of the gutsiest I've seen in the playoffs." And the numbers back it up. According to StatMuse, James became the oldest player in NBA history to record at least 35 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 assists in a playoff game. That's not just elite, that's historic. But beyond the box score and the highlights, what stood out most was LeBron's leadership. Throughout Game 3, he was vocal, engaged, and visibly willing his team to stay in it. He rallied the bench, encouraged young players, and even challenged teammates during timeouts. This wasn't just a star trying to win a game, it was a captain fighting to keep the season alive. Now with Game 4 looming large, the pressure is on. Redick emphasized the urgency in his post-game comments, noting that the team can't rely solely on LeBron's heroics. "We can't put it all on Bron. He gave us everything he had tonight. We've got to match that intensity across the board if we want to turn this series around." Meanwhile, updates on Luka Doncic's health are promising. The Mavericks are optimistic he'll be closer to full strength by Sunday, which sets the stage for another electrifying duel between 2 of the game's biggest names. The Lakers are treating Game 4 as a must-win. A 3-1 deficit would be a tough mountain to climb, even with LeBron playing at this level. But if they can even the series, momentum could swing dramatically in their favor. Whether you're a Lakers fan or not, it's hard not to be drawn into the story unfolding. A 40-year-old LeBron James, banged up but relentless, going head-to-head with a young superstar in Doncic, backed by a team fighting to stay alive, It's the kind of playoff drama that defines legacies. And from the looks of it, LeBron isn't finished writing his. JJ Redick still believes in Jackson Hayes, but he's not ruling out a change. It's no secret that the Los Angeles Lakers have struggled offensively, and part of that comes down to their lack of true size in the paint. Jackson Hayes stands as the team's only traditional center, but so far in this playoff series, his impact has been minimal, averaging less than 9 minutes per game as head coach JJ Redick has leaned heavily into smaller, faster lineups. Now down 2-1 in the series following a tough Game 3 loss on Friday night, questions are swirling. Should the Lakers abandon Hayes' minutes entirely and go small right out of the gate? Redick isn't closing the door on that option. In comments shared by The Athletic's Jovan Buha, Redick made it clear that the team still has faith in what Hayes can offer. But at the same time, he's not afraid to make bold moves if that's what it takes to get the Lakers back into the fight. "We believe in Jackson and what he brings to this group," Redick said. "But we're also focused on doing whatever it takes to win. That's the priority." There's no denying Hayes had some solid moments during the regular season, especially when he stepped up after Luka Doncic's trade and filled in as a starter. He brought energy, vertical spacing, and toughness. But he's a limited player in a matchup-heavy playoff series, and Redick has shown a clear preference for playing small ball, often turning to Dorian Finney-Smith instead, who brings more versatility and helps stretch Minnesota's physical defense. Even Timberwolves forward Jaden McDaniels acknowledged there's value in keeping a big body like Hayes on the floor, especially in such a bruising series. But the reality is, this just might not be the right matchup for Hayes to thrive. The Lakers could be better off fully committing to a smaller switch-heavy look with guys like Finney-Smith, Jared Vanderbilt, and Rui Hachimura filling the gaps in the paint. It's a tough call, and one Redick knows may have major consequences. Looking ahead, the Lakers will almost certainly be looking to upgrade their center position in the offseason. But for now, Redick has to work with the cards he's been dealt. And that might mean putting Hayes on the bench for the remainder of the series. Turnovers cost the Lakers big in Game 3, and Redick isn't happy. Whether or not Hayes plays extended minutes going forward, one thing is crystal clear: the Lakers must take better care of the ball if they want any chance at a comeback. The team coughed up 16 turnovers in Game 3, many of them completely avoidable. After the game, Redick didn't mince words. "Credit to Minnesota, they pressured us and created some chaos. But a lot of those turnovers? That's on us," Redick said. "We were trying to force too much, make the extra pass instead of the smart one." Despite the sloppy execution, Redick noted that the team still managed to generate quality looks. But the volume of turnovers made it nearly impossible to capitalize. In the playoffs, every possession matters, and giving the ball away that often is simply a recipe for disaster. With Game 4 approaching and the season hanging in the balance, adjustments need to come fast. Whether that means fewer minutes for Hayes or more disciplined offensive sets, one thing is certain: the Lakers don't have much margin for error left. As Game 4 looms, the pressure is mounting, not just on the players, but on Redick himself. The rookie head coach has shown flashes of brilliance with his tactical adjustments, but now, every decision is under the microscope. Choosing between sticking with Hayes for size or leaning into small ball versatility could define the series, and maybe even the start of Redick's coaching legacy. Around the league, analysts are weighing in on the Lakers' situation. On NBA Today, former coach and analyst Stan Van Gundy questioned whether LA has the personnel to survive without a traditional center on the floor for extended minutes. "You can go small, sure, but you still need rim protection. You need someone to anchor the paint. If Hayes isn't that guy in this series, you have to get creative. And fast." Meanwhile, Lakers fans are split. Some are calling for Hayes to sit, frustrated by his lack of impact, while others argue that removing the only true big man could make the team even more vulnerable to second-chance points and interior scoring from Minnesota's frontcourt. Adding to the stakes, the Timberwolves are thriving in the chaos. Rudy Gobert has been controlling the glass, and Naz Reid has given LA problems off the bench with his energy and physicality. Without Hayes, that challenge becomes even tougher, unless the Lakers can win with speed, spacing, and defensive switches. And then there's the emotional side. Hayes has remained professional, supportive, and ready when called upon. But there's no doubt he knows what's on the line. A benching in the playoffs can be a tough blow for any player, especially one who played a key role during stretches of the regular season. JJ Redick has made it clear, the priority now is survival. He's not here to protect egos or play favorites. If the Lakers are going to turn this series around, It's going to take sacrifice, adaptability, and absolute execution. This isn't about one guy, Redick said. It's about the team. It's about competing, fighting for each other, and finding ways to win, no matter what that looks like. The question is, will that include Jackson Hayes? Game 4 will reveal a lot, not just about the Lakers' strategy, but about their identity. Are they a team willing to make bold changes when it matters most? Can they clean up their mistakes, lock in defensively, and finally take control of the series? Or will they fall deeper into a hole, with more questions than answers? NBA playoffs. JJ Redick pinpoints key adjustment Lakers must make versus Timberwolves. Game 1 of the series between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Minnesota Timberwolves was a tough pill to swallow for JJ Redick. In his first ever playoff game as a head coach, he watched his team fall by 22 points, a frustrating debut that made one thing painfully clear: the defense needed a complete reset. And to his credit, Redick responded. Heading into Game 2, he knew adjustments were non-negotiable, and the Lakers came out with a completely different mindset on the defensive end. The energy, the rotations, the effort, it was night and day. After watching the Game 2 victory back in full, Redick confirmed what he felt in real time. The defense was strong, cohesive, and set the tone. But he didn't sugarcoat things. As far as he's concerned, there's still room to improve, and that work has already begun. Redick pushes for more pace and grit. While Redick was pleased with the progress on defense, his post-game analysis showed he wasn't fully satisfied with the Lakers' offense. Yes, the team was more structured and effective than in Game 1, but in stretches, especially in the third quarter, the offense stagnated. Redick, visibly frustrated during that period, was even caught on camera giving his team a fiery wake-up call during a timeout. The issue, according to Redick, isn't just execution. It's mentality. We've talked about this since day 1 of training camp, Redick said. This team has to play with urgency, with tempo, with fire. That's the identity we're trying to build, one that's been missing for the last 2 years. And he's not just preaching. On Thursday, during a focused practice session in Minneapolis ahead of Game 3, Redick zeroed in on pace and mental toughness, 2 elements he believes will make or break the Lakers as they hit the road. Playing in front of a raucous Target Center crowd isn't going to be easy. The Timberwolves have shown they can feed off that energy. For the Lakers, staying composed, aggressive, and locked in, especially when the crowd turns up the volume, will be critical. Tonight's Game 3 will reveal whether Redick's message landed, and whether the Lakers can bring that same grit and purpose to enemy territory. Luka Doncic reveals the real shift behind Lakers' Game 2 bounceback. The transformation from Game 1 to Game 2 was so striking, it was hard to believe this was the same Lakers team. After being physically outmatched and flat-out embarrassed in the series opener, Los Angeles came back with fire, focus, and a level of physicality that set the tone from the opening tip. The result? A gritty 94-85 win that tied the series and reminded everyone why this team can't be counted out. Setting the tone early with physicality and purpose. From the very first quarter, the Lakers sent a clear message: they weren't going to get bullied again. The defense was suffocating. They fought for every loose ball, contested every shot, and dominated the paint. They won the rebounding battle 41-34 and made life miserable for Minnesota, holding them to a dismal 20% from beyond the arc, just 5 made threes, the lowest total by any Lakers opponent all season. Same game plan, different energy. Surprisingly, Luka Doncic downplayed the idea that there was any major tactical overhaul between games. We didn't change much. It was just about being more physical. We were locked in for the full 48, he said post-game. That simple truth says it all. The blueprint was already there. The Lakers just needed to bring it to life with energy and urgency. And this time they did. Forward Dorian Finney-Smith also pointed out a key adjustment: limiting Minnesota's three-point volume. The Wolves went from 41 attempts in Game 1 to just 25 in Game 2, forcing them into a slower, more uncomfortable offensive rhythm. Edwards admits he was thrown off. Even Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards seemed caught off guard. After the game, he admitted the Lakers threw defensive looks at him he had never seen before, and confessed he was a little confused. Whether or not the schemes changed on paper, the execution added layers of complexity that completely disrupted Minnesota's flow. The mission now: bring that same fire to Minnesota. With the series now tied 1-1, the challenge becomes clear. Can the Lakers sustain this level of intensity on the road? Game 3 shifts to a hostile environment in Minnesota, where the target center will be packed and loud. But the Lakers have made one thing abundantly clear: when they play with full-throttle intensity, they have the tools to control the series. Now comes the hard part: doing it 3 more times. This battle is far from over, but Game 2 proved one thing beyond doubt: the Lakers are still very much alive, and they found a formula that works. Now it's all about consistency, belief, and showing up every night like their season depends on it, because it does. Carrying momentum into enemy territory. The Lakers' response in Game 2 didn't just shift the scoreboard, it shifted the momentum of the series. And now, heading into Game 3 in Minnesota, all eyes are on whether they can bring that same energy into a much tougher setting. The target center is known for its intensity, and with Timberwolves fans ready to rally behind their team, the pressure is about to reach a whole new level. But pressure is something Luka Doncic thrives under. Since arriving in LA, he's embraced the big moments, and this one might be the biggest yet in purple and gold. "We proved something to ourselves in Game 2, Doncic said after practice on Friday. "Now we've got to do it again, and again." Head coach J.J. Redick echoed those sentiments. While pleased with the team's bounce-back effort, he made it clear that Game 2 can't be the peak, it has to be the new standard. He's challenged his players to maintain that same edge, especially on the defensive end, where the Lakers stifled one of the NBA's most dynamic young scorers in Anthony Edwards. A shift in the locker room mentality. Internally, the tone around the team has changed. Multiple players have mentioned a renewed sense of accountability and urgency since the Game 1 loss. Veteran voices like LeBron James and Dorian Finney-Smith have emphasized discipline and communication, especially when it comes to executing defensive rotations and closing out possessions. Even players off the bench, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jordan Goodwin, are feeling the ripple effect. Practices have been sharper. Film sessions have gotten louder. Everyone's more dialed in. And it's not just the players who've taken notice. National attention, local expectations. The national media has started to pay attention too. Pundits who wrote the Lakers off after Game 1 are suddenly re-evaluating their takes. On ESPN's NBA Today, Kendrick Perkins praised the team's grown man response, while Brian Windhorst noted that Game 2 looked like a team that finally found its playoff identity. Still, the Lakers know one win doesn't win a series. They'll need to outwork, outthink, and outlast a Timberwolves team that's still dangerous, especially at home. Looking ahead. If the Lakers can steal Game 3 on the road, they'll do more than take a 2-1 series lead. They'll plant doubt in Minnesota's mind and potentially tilt the psychological edge of the series. That's the opportunity in front of them. They've shown what they're capable of. Now it's about proving it wasn't a one-night spark, but the start of something real. Rob Pelinka praises J.J. Redick for his humility and style as head coach. When Lakers GM and president of basketball operations Rob Pelinka hired J.J. Redick as head coach last offseason, it was a bold and unconventional move. Redick had 0 professional coaching experience and was the same age as LeBron James, fueling skepticism and criticism from media voices across the league. But in just under 1 full season, Redick has not only silenced the doubters, he's emerged as one of the more impressive coaching stories in the NBA. He's earned the trust and respect of his players, including LeBron, and consistently has the team prepared, no matter the opponent or stakes. Ahead of Game 2 against the Timberwolves, a game in which Redick and the Lakers made smart, decisive adjustments to even the series, Pelinka spoke with Spectrum Sportsnet about what makes Redick so special. JJ has this rare combination of humility and style. And that's hard to find. You've got to be humble enough for the players to truly connect with you, and our guys love JJ, but he also carries himself with a kind of confidence that makes him decisive and bold in tough moments. That's not something you often see in a first-year coach. That's why we believe in his leadership. Redick has completely reshaped the energy around the Lakers. Post-game interviews have a new tone, one of ownership, clarity, and unity. Under former coach Darvin Ham, players would often express frustration about not feeling prepared or aligned. It was clear there was a disconnect. But under Redick, even after losses, players have backed him wholeheartedly. They don't question the game plan, they take responsibility for not executing it. That kind of belief in a coach is powerful. And it's a big reason Redick's first year has been such a success. Pelinka reacts to contract extension. While the focus is fully on the first-round battle with Minnesota, there's been major front office news behind the scenes as well, Rob Pelinka recently signed a contract extension with the Lakers. Along with a new deal, Pelinka was officially promoted to President of Basketball Operations, in addition to continuing his role as General Manager. A longtime member of the Lakers family, well known as Kobe Bryant's former agent, Pelinka expressed gratitude for the extension, but he made it clear, the job isn't done. There's still a championship to chase. Pelinka's belief in Redick wasn't just a gamble, it was a statement about the kind of culture the Lakers want to build. A culture rooted in accountability, communication, and adaptability. And so far, that vision is paying off. League insiders have taken notice. Analysts who once questioned the hire are now praising Redick's poise, his X's and O's savvy, and most importantly, his emotional intelligence, something Pelinka has long valued in leaders. NBA veteran and broadcaster Richard Jefferson recently commented, "JJ's always been one of the smartest guys in the room. But seeing how he's translated that into leading a team, especially this team, with all its personalities and expectations, that's next level." The buy-in from the roster has been crystal clear. Veterans like LeBron James and Anthony Davis have openly supported Redick in interviews, while younger players such as Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura credit him for helping them grow their confidence and roles on the court. The chemistry on the bench and the unity during timeouts reflect a team that's locked in, not just to a system, but to each other. Off the court, the Lakers front office is moving in sync as well. Pelinka's contract extension signals ownership's trust in his long-term vision for the franchise. After years of instability, coaching changes, roster shakeups, and playoff uncertainty, the organization is striving for sustained success and continuity. Redick's arrival appears to be a central pillar of that plan. The reaction from the fan base has also shifted. Initially divided, Lakers fans are now embracing Redick's leadership style. Social media has been flooded with praise for the team's more disciplined play and improved effort on both ends of the floor. The locker room no longer feels reactive, it feels intentional. As the series with the Timberwolves continues, all eyes will be on how Redick handles the pressure of postseason basketball. But if his first season is any indication, he's not just surviving the moment, he's shaping it. And for Rob Pelinka, that's exactly what this team needed.